What is going on, guys? Back with another video. Today we're going to be comparing two of the biggest cult-like meme coins of recent times, Doge, DJI6930 and Momo. These two coins have seen immense growth. They've seen a huge amount of new holders and it just continues to increase, right? Now, we're going to be looking at various different factors, different points, and really see which one I personally believe has more potential to come out on top, guys, right? So first thing is obviously DJI6930 has seen a little bit of a sell-off. This is down, I think, around 50 to 60% from all-time highs. And it's going to be interesting to see just how much this can hold up. You know, this is currently $38 million in market cap. When you compare that to Momo, now Momo also did have a bit of a sell-off down to around nearly 20 million. Since then has had a nice recovery and is now trading back over 30 million in market cap, guys. When you look at these two coins as well, Momo is around 23 days old. You compare that to DJI6930 and this is nearly 2 months old, guys, right? So DJI6930 obviously is the older coin, so it does have 15,000 holders. When you compare that to Momo, currently has 9,000 holders, right? So both of them are seeing a massive increase in the amount of holders. This is increasing every single day. And I honestly do believe that both of these coins will see an increase in growth. When it comes to the holders, obviously, DJI does come out on top, but you could argue that is due to the fact that it is older. Now, the next thing to have a look at, guys, is when it comes to the website, when it comes to the manifesto, when it comes to the aim of what the project aims to do. And the reason that Doge has that massive sort of narrative behind it is their manifesto, flipping the Dow Jones, right? So one thing with retail, when they come into a meme coin and they see this on the front page, even though the market cap of the Dow Jones, that is a market cap which is currently, I think, over 20 trillion, right? The Dow 30, $21 trillion in market cap. But still, despite that, this is still going to have a massive percentage of holders who believe this is possible. And they're going to continue to push it. They're going to continue to hold as they see it perform well, right? So that's the thing where Doge comes into use, right? You can see here, in the beginning, there was the Dow, a stuffy haven for blue chip geezers, essentially TradeFi, and then the ticker DJI6930 came out. It isn't just a number, it's a battle cry, a call to obliterate the Dow Jones 30 and flip that $20 trillion figure once and for all, guys, right? So you can just see the motivation, the sort of use case there, that call, that manifesto to get people to believe. This isn't just some half-baked meme. This is a full-on degen revolution. Doge is the explosive fusion of tech, community, and pure financial mayhem. So has that use case, guys, right? In terms of the use case, obviously the goals for Doge, when you compare it to Momo, now Momo is the first female Shiba, Bonks' sister. What I do like about Momo, it comes in and it puts this thing here, take the pink pill. This is going to be associated with Momo. So you have a look at this, you see the sort of the manifesto. Obviously, we will see the updated manifesto on this page, but the first female Shiba, the people's dog coin of this cycle, pure meme energy, Bonk sister organic movement, guys. So obviously in the past, we've seen the likes of Shiba, the likes of Dogecoin, Bonk. This is aiming to be the dog coin of this cycle, guys, right? And when you look at the community, it does remind me of an early stage Doge, early stage Shiba, early stage Bonk. And being a female version as well, I do think is a nice touch, because you can see here, also has that narrative of being by the people for the people, guys, right? 100% fair launched. So also is pushing that cult like movement for this project as well, basically aiming to be the next Shiba, right? Which, when you look at the character, I really do like the character. I think the character is very high quality. The website is simple but straight to the point. So, when it comes to both the communities, guys, as I've said, both of these communities are very, very active, right? They continue to push this. They continue to raid. They are everywhere on YouTube comments, on X, etc. Next, we have a look at the social media aspect. Now, even though these two projects, you could argue, have a small amount of followers when you compare these to other projects, these are organic, right? These are all natural followers. And the main thing is when you compare the engagement of both of these, the engagement is better than many meme coins which have hundreds of thousands of followers. So you can tell that most of this, or pretty much all of this, is authentic engagement, right? They're not buying bots. They're not buying anything. This is all authentic, right? So 5,300 followers on Doge and nearly 4,000 followers on Momo. So obviously Momo is newer. It was, it's obviously less than a month old. Also, when you look at the community section, this currently has 1,300 members on the community section, guys, which is pretty impressive. And in this section, you have a lot of KOLs. You've got a lot of influencers who are pushing this as well, guys. Not to mention with Momo as well, you do also have the added aspect of having Ryan from Crypto Banter on board with this, and also some other big influencers, guys. So this is something impressive with Momo, and I do think it is still very small in terms of where it can potentially go. Comparing that to Doge, their community, Try-Nights, 774 members. But what you could argue as well, guys, is they are still just as active as Momo, right? For me, I do see more people talking about Doge. It has eased off a little bit over the past sort of few days, but I still overall see, more hype around Doge than I do Momo, right? But what's happened is obviously, Doge has come down a bit higher and people are starting to be a little bit fearful, guys. So it will be interesting to see how well it can hold up. Obviously, if this drops sort of under 30 million, maybe it could potentially have more of a sell off. But as I've said, guys, the use case, the narrative is still there for Doge. And I still think that this can have a good recovery from here. And, this is the thing, guys, when you hold a cult like meme coin, you have to be prepared to hold it to the end, right? If it's not a meme coin, which is cult like, then it's different. But these two are what you could consider cult like memes. So the conviction has to be there, right? Conviction beats belief. So in terms of the goals, obviously Doge DJI has the higher goals in terms of what they want to achieve. When you compare this to Momo, the main goal of Momo is obviously the first goal is they want to become sort of the next Bonk. They want to get to a billion in market cap, which is obviously was published on the manifesto. So, for it to go to a billion, you are looking at around a 40x, I believe, to a billion. But when you have a look at Bonk, it is around an 80x to get to the market cap of Bonk from current prices. And if you look at the all-time high, it is over 130x, guys. So when you look at that, you think to yourself, is that possible? Is it possible for this to do, those sort of returns? And when you consider something like Shiba, again, some of the community are looking at Shiba as the potential goal for this. You are looking at 250x or potentially all-time high 1400x, guys. So it's better to be more conservative. As I've said, guys, Shiba is a unique coin, and it is very unlikely that this is going to flip Shiba. But something like, Bonk, it probably potentially could reach, the market cap of Bonk. Obviously, in the future, Bonk is going to be a lot higher than 2 billion. So 2 billion, is it on the cards potentially? The main goal or the first goal for Momo is $1, which would be around 35, 40x. Compare that to DJI. A lot of the comparisons come to SPX. Obviously, SPX is close to all-time highs. You're talking around a 50x, 46x to the market cap of SPX, which is 1.8 billion in market cap. Now, in terms of DJI, if it can hold up, if it can show strength, I do think this is possible. Obviously, SPX will also be higher in the future. I do think it is possible for DJI to get to this market cap, right? Obviously, some people are talking about Dogecoin. That is just a complete insane target, right? You shouldn't be thinking of that, guys. This market is more saturated. Back then, there were very, very few meme coins, right? But all of that into consideration, all of the facts into consideration, in terms of which heights a project can reach, I do think that, Doge has the potential to reach higher market cap, right? I think the whole manifesto, the whole goal of Doge is to reach massive market cap, which is basically shown when it comes to the website, right? That goal is, even though it's unrealistic, is to achieve the flippening of the Dow 30 compared to something like Momo is probably to get to Bonk's market cap or maybe Shiba's market cap, guys. So what I would say is, in terms of which one I think will perform the best, I do think Doge will perform better, but that doesn't mean that Momo isn't going to perform well. Momo, in my opinion, is also going to perform well. Massive use case, community is going to continue to grow, and this is just my personal opinion, guys, but it is very close. I think both of these are very strong. Momo showing a lot of recent strength. It's showing a lot of growth over recent times. Very good content it pushes out as well, and they also are partnered with bigger KOLs, bigger influencers. So It will be very interesting. Obviously, here you've got here, these were the ones listed. Also, meme coin, Momo, and DJI. So these are two meme coins which are going to perform really well, and they have some of the biggest cult like followings, guys. So obviously, guys, just my own personal opinion, I do like both. Let me know which one your favorite is and which one do you think will perform the best, guys, and I'll see you soon for the next video.